Tēnā koutou katoa, everyone, and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host, Mucky Hope, and oh my God, have we got the night for you. You know, a special season of a special show, Squid Game, the final season, released only just a couple nights ago, and I had to get two of my boys, my squid-delicious men. You know, like if I was to be a squid, that'd be a tentacle on each side, and I'm sure we'd be squirting ink all over those cheeky little fishes and whales that's, you know, swim beneath the deep ocean. So let's start off with my main tentacle. He's been there with me for Australian Survivor Brands versus Brawn. He was there to talk about all the trailers for Squid Game. Ladies and gents, you know him. It's Nathan. How's it going, bro?
I'm a main tentacle, boys. I made it. This is the greatest achievement of my life. And you know, I was feeling good before, and now I'm feeling squiddy. I'm feeling squidsy. I'm trying to like come up with like a pun for sexy, but with squid in it, and I can't quite. I'm a tentacle man.
But you know, every squid may have its tentacles, right? But the most important part of a squid, it's its hooks, it's its teeth. That's how it eats into everything. And you know, this lovely man.
It doesn't have a teeth. It's.
Shut up, Nathan. I know my marine biology.
There was a whole show that we watched recently about squid.
Well, guess what? They all had teeth, okay? Shut up. But anyways, speaking of teeth and hooks, this man has been with me, you know, from the Nullified Take, where we did $1 Million Island. We did, like, Traders, Survivor. You know, we talked about Wendigos and Bigfoot. It's like, this man needs no introduction. He is the great, the wonderful, really the hook of the podcast. It is Mr. Kahena. How's it going, man?
Mucky! I
Kahuna.
don't know how often I've been called someone's man by another man. I don't know if it's better or worse that I'm the squidalicious in between being called that. But keep your tentacles. Yeah. See, I got to throw it out. MUCKNY.
Oh man, it is so good to be podcasting with you again, bro. How have you been?
Yeah, good, man. You know, I've been off the internet. I haven't been on podcasts. I've knocked you back a couple times for various things and laying low after, you know, the Nullified Take. We did Squid Game earlier, and I was like, yeah, Mucky, I'm there with you. I'm going to be doing stuff with you. But, you know, I'm a middle-aged man, father of 3 with a job. And once I sort of got out of the routine of being every week on podcasting, I went, oh, this is kind of, I got some time to myself. I can actually breathe and watch stuff without having to, like, analyze and break it down and what happened and who voted where and all that sort of thing. So much so that I almost like did the opposite. I didn't watch most recent seasons of Survivor. I didn't even watch the most recent season of The Challenge. So I'm like falling behind. But one thing that can get me back behind a microphone is my man Mucky and Squid Game.
You're goddamn right, brother. And yeah, we're here to talk about Squid Game Season 3. We do have HMV is live. That says wait, what is exclamation mark? I thought it was capital letter. I was like, what? I forgot my grammar, but top. Thank you so much for joining the live, brother. But Squid Game Season 3, you know, let's do just a quick non-spoiler sort of share our sort of thoughts. Nathan, you know, we watched the whole season together last night. So start with you, Kahena. In the most non I guess spoiler way possible. What is your thoughts on the final season? You know, did it live up to the hype? Did it wrap up the story well? Like, how are you feeling?
I don't know. I'm a little bit mixed because on one hand, obviously it's Squid Game and it's very well done. It's amazing, like the visuals, everything. But I feel like for me personally, without trying to go into spoilers, I'm sure we will. We'd be better. We have to discuss some very specific things because there's something that happened in this that I just went, okay, I'm out now. Like, this is so far gone and dumb and stupid that I'm like, I get it that okay, it gets, if you're in this environment, you're desperate to a point, but that is so far gone that I'm like, this is now ridiculous. And it made me look at everything through that lens. And I went, oh, that's stupid. Why did I do that? Oh, that's dumb. And it flicked a switch in me that I went, nah, I can't believe any of it now, that it's just that far gone. And it made me sort of squint at the whole thing a little bit differently. I started judging it harsher, which I'm not necessarily proud of. I don't like, I'm being truthful that I was in and then something happened where I went, well, that's dumb. And now I look at the whole thing as going, I don't like it anymore. I throw the baby out with the bathwater. Oops.
Father of 3, ladies and gentlemen.
But you know what I mean? Like, I don't want something to tarnish the entire thing, but now I'm starting to see the holes a little bit more clearly once the one big hole got very big for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And well, how about you, Nathan? You know, because I know we talked a little bit about it last night, but it's been almost 24 hours since we started watching it. How are you sort of feeling about the show?
I think similar feelings to Kahuna, if not a little bit more harsh. I just didn't like it, to be honest with you. Funny enough, like, just not even going into spoilers, the moment he said there was a moment where I was like, I'm out, I knew exactly what he's talking about. like I think we all know exactly what he's talking about. Just sort of like that one moment where you're just like, oh, come on. But like even before that, like even before all of that, it's I went in pretty critical, I think, normally, because season 1 had a very good premise. Netflix does a lot of this where they try to keep pushing something that is a really good IP. Season 2 kind of needed to rely on season 3 working. And season 3 came out, and there was it was one of those things where the parts that hit really hard, but a lot didn't hit. And I like consistency. I like when there's a thorough a through line throughout everything where you can just follow along, and I'd like something to be good throughout rather than great at certain points. That would be my take on it. And Squid Game, there was only a very few points where it was great. Or season 3, where a very few points where it was great. So that's kind of my take on it overall. But in particular, there was just a lot of stupid stuff. And you can point it out pretty easily. It doesn't take a super critical lens to do so. Yeah.
And just a comment here from Shadab Samar. Welcome. Hello. So lovely that you've made it here to live chat. I guess just share my general thoughts before we start diving into all the spoilers and stuff. So the first one being, I actually really liked probably the first 4 episodes. With the 2 games, they showed in the trailer. One's like a hide and seek kind of game. The other one's like this jump rope. I thought it was like well done. I thought everything sort of leading up to it, I thought it was pretty great, pretty well done. But then with sort of the last 2 episodes, it just fell flat. And I don't know if that's where you guys sort of had that off point as well. But to me, it just got to a point where I was like, what am I even really watching anymore? You get what I mean? And so I wasn't very happy or satisfied really with how the show ended. I thought it started off strong, especially the first game that happened. I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of great laughs, all throughout. But yeah, I guess let's dive deep into spoilers though. So this is your full spoiler warning. If you don't want spoilers, click away. I'm someone who hates spoilers as well. So this is your full warning. Turn back now. So Kahuna.
Yes, sir.
What was the point that made you be like, what the fuck am I watching? I want to know if it was the exact same point as when Nathan had the same realization.
It was when every grown human being, adult in this room went, yeah, let's fucking kill a baby. Like, why? What are you talking about? I was expecting all of them to be like, hey, man, there's a baby here. What are we doing? Like, there's a literal baby that's 12 hours old. and they're like, let's fucking punt it. I want to and it didn't take any convincing whatsoever. Like one person went, "Hey, that baby's got the mom's money. That's not fair." Everyone went, "Yeah, let's kill it." Like what? Like as far as like that escalated quickly, like they were all in. They were like 100. Every single one of them on that side of the. They're like, "Oh, I vote circle, therefore I kill babies." Like it's. There's no build up. There's no like. I get they're all like. Well, that's the thing as well. Is that what we're meant to believe? Because in my head, right, the whole point of the Squid Game is society, capitalism, corporates is like it's so people are so desperate, so broke in such difficult situations that they will put their life on the line. They will risk everything in order to climb out of those circumstances. But I do feel like there is a line that people won't cross over, and usually it's infanticide, right? Usually, I don't know if they're just immediately, not even like they built up and then, one of them's like, okay, they're trying to protect this baby and just one person. But no, they were all in on it. Just like, let's murder children. Let's murder literal newborns.
Yeah, even the father as well. He was like, if you take one step closer, I'm going to drop this baby.
Even I thought the game has some sort of like, at least moral consistency within its own universe and rule set, right? They uphold the rules. Like that's you can't hurt that person against the rules. Like you're out, whatever. Like the game is a thing. And then they're like, yeah, fucking baby, let's go. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought they would have been like, no, the baby is not in the circumstance. The baby did not choose to be a part of it. The baby doesn't vote. Like, the baby cannot be part of the thing. The baby automatically gets X amount of money and blah, blah, blah. But they're like, nah, put the baby in. Like, what the hell? Like, the baby's a player. Is it? Because the baby can't do shit. I don't understand how a baby can play this game, man. Like, it's the worst possible thing ever. And that's when I went, from that point on, I was like, who designed this room? Where is the construction crew that did this? Is this architect on crack? Like, what the fuck? And then the whole way through, I'm just dissecting every single thing. I'm like, none of this makes sense anymore. I cannot be part of this world. So that's when everything unraveled. I'm like, this is dumb. Like, even like I said, the games, I never did it in the first season. I never did it in the second season. And I was like, who built this island? Like the construction crew required to build this massive tower where they had the three like things, the end one where the who the fuck built that? It's like bigger than pyramids. Like, I'm like, what is happening in this place? I never once went to that level of like analysis, level of critique from the previous. I know they had the glass bridge and all that with the crazy tower. Obviously, it's not even the same room. Do they have multiple of these fucking pits that are like, that's I didn't even think about it. But then it was like my epiphany went, oh, this is dumb, and now everything was dumb from that point. And I hate myself that I did that, but they went to put a baby in the script. The baby won, by the way.
That is like that, and there's like two other moments which made me laugh like really, really hard. But just before I do go into those moments, Nathan, at what point did it hit you? Was it the same with when they were like, let's kill the baby, or was it like an earlier point that made you be like, nah, that's pretty shit?
The point that I think brought it up for me was actually like, I guess I got it wrong. I guess me and Kahuna aren't of the same mind.
Remember, I'm 3.
Of course. Right. Single, ladies and gentlemen. I have no morals, but
well, apparently you got there before I did.
Well,
so
yeah, that's true. But actually, you know what? So the point that broke it for me or the point I thought Kahuna was referencing was the ending, which was like the lady in Los Angeles playing Duck G with like some other guy down on his luck in the ending, and you're like, oh, come on, this is just a bit much, because like who would be like, it just doesn't make much sense for a Western branch to be playing a Korean game. I just don't think that makes much sense, because like the whole point of it was that it was very culturally significant child games, and also like also I think I had a similar conversation with Michael, but it went down a little bit differently. Uh, the homeless in the rest of the world aren't like the homeless in Korea, all right? It doesn't work the same way. There's like other benefits and other things, and they have other things on their mind. It's like you got to take these into consideration. So it just seemed silly to me, but that wasn't the part that actually got me. It was actually more closely in line with Kahuna's thinking. Was that moral consistency that the show had, which was that they didn't treat murder like murder, which was a very interesting point throughout all of the games. Was you're eliminated, you're disqualified, you've lost this round, and the death came from just, it was basically like not fully stated, right?
Yeah.
And furthermore, contestants weren't killing each other, right? There was no like, up to this point, there was no real direct. You could play all of these games and technically not hurt another contestant, right? Like you could be a passive player throughout the entire thing. Obviously, it's not easy, and obviously, like if you were like playing in real life, you would go for the violent route because you're trying to save your own skin. But like, there are times where throughout all of the games, you could just go without hurting the other person. It would take agreement between the two at the end, obviously, but still. Then you get to game 4 in the second one, season 3, the hide and seek, and it was literally just you're murdering each other, and you're just like, okay, all bets are off. Like we're just. Yeah, it's like we're not even trying to hide it anymore. Oh, you're killing each other. Here's the knife. Like,
we got this.
Like they, like what's even more funny is in like the riot scene that happened just the season prior, right? They didn't give weapons to people. They gave forks under the pretense of eating food, right? Like there was like subtlety to like a lot of the way they were building up this like tension, and then it was just straight up, nah. Get over it. You're murdering each other now. It's called hide and seek, but I don't know. It's like how we call it prop hunt. You're shooting other people. it's what are we gonna do here? It's just kind of at that point to me, it was like, okay, all bets are off, right? Like they've just kind of gotten rid of all of that, and then as Kahuna said, the 2-2-2 decision, I think, was really stupid as well, because morally there was a consistent factor. They had the voting. I mean, obviously it was also to just give false hope, but people could leave if they wanted to. They had they gave the choice to join the game at the very beginning. You could choose to play. The prize money wasn't a trick. Like they gave the prize money at the end they don't need to do that. They could just distribute it among the rich people or whatever. But they do it, right? It's like all of this stuff is still like a factor. So then why get rid of the morals now? Like, what's the point? Was it because it's just a rebellion? Well, clearly not. Otherwise, they would have killed them. Like, there's so many questions that you kind of like, oh, okay, this is clearly different from the rest of it, and then you start again. You, as Kahuna said, you start questioning it. You start being like, well, who's building this? Why has nobody really considered this before? Like, why are the VIPs like now just killing the people once the game is over? what happens if a VIP dies? Like if they get stabbed, does
Yeah.
like the whole thing end? Do like they have to pull out because now it's a risk? Like what's the point now? Like, you know, it's a whole bunch of that stuff. So I
Yeah.
think for me, what it does do really well is that it tricks you into thinking it's good. The acting is really good, the set design is really good, the music is really good. And there's a lot of good moments, but just the overall thing, you're like, what is happening?
Yeah. Well, actually, that's probably the point that really pissed me off. Like, Nathan, you were there every time the VIPs come on the screen. Like, you know, with season 1 VIPs Kahuna, right? They were old, they're disgusting, they're very clearly terrible people. You know, if you can satisfy me in 5 minutes, I'll change your life, you know? And then these ones are just like millennial, I don't know, like, oh my God, you're so rich. This is about to get interesting. Like, oh my God, this is just so great. It's like, shut up! God, I was so sick of it every time they came on.
Was
Because I
that
think
line?
someone-
Like the one that starts the pack is the one to betray it? Like who what? You know, like she was like, you know what they say? It's like, no, we don't. What do you want about?
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I was getting annoyed at, like, okay, I'm going to be the controversial one here. And I realize that I'm not saying good or bad either way. I'm saying it's a specific style that I found started grating on me after a while. And it's just part and parcel of K-drama, Asian cinema, the whole lot. The style after a while, because I was annoyed at the plot points and the choices, I started getting annoyed at dialogue and delivery and everything, where I was like, okay, I'm really annoyed with the whole, again, I'm not being racist, but the Asian drama presentation of like, and the overly like almost playing like Broadway, like
the tropes.
Yeah, like tropes, right? The way they act,
things you see over
and I know
over.
it's part and parcel of it, and it's just a stylistic fit for me personally. I was like, okay, now I'm just getting annoyed at the way they play up the overly dramatic delivery of lines, and like every little thing I was like, I hate the way they talk. And I know it's not just I watch dub. I have to watch dub because I'm stupid. I can't read. Were you watching dub or sub?
We watched the subs.
Yeah, we watched the sub.
You watch dub, so you're watching Korean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd like to point out, by the way, that the dialogue for the English actors is just as bad. Like it is really bad. It's really bad.
And I was going to my wife. I was like, look, is it because like I realize there's some, you know, direct translation issues and things like that, but I also think it's just in, you know, Asian cinema, Asian thing, the dialogue they say is a lot more exaggerated. There's no subtlety in the way they talk. There's no little, like, everything is like these cliches and short sentences and blah blah blah. And I'm like, it just doesn't vibe with me as much. And then once I got to that point, I was like, yeah, like look at the way these guys talk. Like even the American guys, the Western people. I'm like, who the fuck talks like that? Like, who wrote this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I know there's a little bit of it that's translation because I'm watching the dub. I get that. But it is just part of, because on a side note, a little bit of thing, my daughter is a huge weeb, right? She's really into like Japanese, like my wife is now wanting to connect with my daughter. We watch anime. I am struggling big time with a lot of anime stuff because it has that vibe to it, right?
Yeah.
Right? The like that kind of thing. Like I'm just not meshing with that vibe, but it's part of it. I realize it's not, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying I just don't vibe with it. And I feel like that is just part and parcel of what we were getting, was there's this so over the top, overly dramatic. Like, I feel like if I'm in that environment, when the old guy talks his shit to I would have like punched him in the face just for like, oh, you think you're in charge of us? I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, what the way they talk and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, everything got to the point where I was so annoyed with the way they say things and the way they overly just and this is where I'm going to disagree with you, Nate, because I felt like seeing Kate Blanchett at the end. As much as I hated, like, you're right. I 100% agree with you that Dutchie was the wrong choice to do in America. But I was like, oh my God, an actual actor. I'm like, the way, like, excited by a David Fincher American take on that world where I don't have to put up with the overly the presentation. I feel like I'm just really in the wrong here because I know it's like all Asian cinema shitting on.
I'll back up. I'll back up a little bit as well on what you said said too, because like your daughter, I'm also a weeb, so I can somewhat understand I can give you somewhat of an explanation. So like Asian languages and translation errors, because the language is so diverse. Actually, it's because a lot of things mean single words. Like I think like love in like Japanese can mean like a multitude of different things. Like it can also mean cute and a whole bunch of, like, it can mean the moon or something as well. So it basically is, it's a huge translational issue, right? So when they have to describe it to like other audiences outside of their scope, they have to do a lot of things that just doesn't seem human.
Yeah.
like these people would never speak like this in reality, but that's just how it is, right? And it's really funny. It's really funny to watch, like in a dub, and in the sub, it's a little bit better because these people are speaking the language the proper way, right?
Yeah.
And so you get a little bit more of a grasp of it. But then when you're translating it in the dub version, you're like taking these specific meanings of these words that could mean like 100 things. You're picking it out, and then you're shouting it very expressively. Like, I'm so proud right now. Like, it's really silly. But then another point I also brought up, I think with Michael as well, is that the team that made the dub didn't expect Squid Game to be this big. Like clearly you can tell these are very B-list voice actors. These are very B-list voiceovers. This is very poor dubbing. This is very like bad voice syncing as well. It's overall the quality on the dub is just terrible, and it pulls you out so much. I have seen clips of both, and it is really funny to watch.
Yeah, one of my favorite dubbed moments is actually in the first season, right, where the teaming up for the marbles game, right, and the gangster guy is with his friend, and in the Korean version, he's like, "Hey man, we're gonna do really well," and his friend's like, "Yeah, we're gonna crush the other teams." And they like give each other breakfast. In the dub version, it's like, "Hey man, we're gonna make a great team. You and I, yeah, we will." It's like very clearly in the script, it just says laugh evilly or something.
Yeah.
Let's do that. But I guess to just move aside from, I guess, like the dub, the translations and stuff, I guess it would be cool to talk about the games that they did, right? And so the first game being hide and seek. So you walk up to a gumball machine, you twist it, it gives you a red ball or blue ball. If you are a blue ball, you are a hider and you have a key. However, the key doesn't fit all locks though. And turns out with the exit doors, you've got to have all 3 keys in order to actually open it up to permanently escape. If you are a seeker, you are given a knife. And as Nathan said, the rule is just, all right, this is straight up murder. If you want to like make it to the next game as a seeker, you just have to fucking kill someone. And that's it can be literally anyone as long as it's just someone not on your team. And there is a rule though that's slightly before, if players want to switch roles, they're more than welcome to. And it was just so funny watching the old man, the guy who owns 10 million won. 10 billion won. And he's just like trying to switch sides so badly because all his friends are wearing the red shirts and like, nah, man, we're coming for you. He's just shitting himself. But we do see, I'm going to say their names and then also sort of like their archetype, because every character has like one thing that sticks out. So you've got Junhee, the pregnant chick. She ends up swapping with the Bitcoin guy, MG Coin. I actually forgot his full name, but MG Coin, and the mother and son, swap roles as well. Kahuna, if you were to actually do this game, would you rather be a hider or a seeker?
I guess if you're in the show and you're just totally cool with murdering the crap out of people all of a sudden, like have no qualms whatsoever, just stabbing someone, that's probably the most advantageous, I would say. Like if you have the knife, you're in a good spot. But that in and of itself, they didn't show any struggle with that process either. They're like, hey, kill people now. And they should have been like, what? Like, I don't know about that one, man. Mate, like, I guess if I'm going to get killed, maybe I'll kill someone. But like, they're like, yeah, let's go. Fucking stab people. Stab it. I love it.
Can you imagine if...
on board immediately. Can
you imagine if Thanos was still alive? He would have been like, wow, let's kill someone.
Oh, that's another thing, by the way. I don't know if these writers have ever done drugs in their life.
No.
I don't know.
Kahuna. Yes.
Drug. What is that, by the way, that makes them be that way? Because that is a hell of a pill.
That is super ecstasy. That is like the next form of heroin. They've unlocked something. This is the future. This is 2028. We're one pill gets you going with withdrawals.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. And that's the other thing. This kid has been good the entire time, pops a pill, and they're like, this junkie. We don't want that junkie.
Yeah, no,
actually too mild throughout the entire thing, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh yeah, that guy's high as hell, eh?" Like that guy is done for it.
Yeah, because for me personally, the drug really worked with Namgu, who was like Thanos' sidekick, right? Who sort of becomes like he's almost like the new gangster almost, because he's just not afraid to just kill whoever, even after he teams up with MG Coin. And they killed their two people. He's like, yeah, but why don't we just go on killing everyone else, though? Because if we kill more blue shirts, then more red shirts are going to die because they can't kill them. And then there's more money for us with the next vote, right?
Yeah, he broke the game.
Yeah, he literally did. He literally, while on drugs, he found a way to break the game. So I just love how...
All the pink suits and stuff, the front man's like, oh, fuck.
God dang it. We didn't think of them being crazy.
Wait, what did he say? Oh, hang on. Oh, shit. He's right. You can just kill anyone.
But I did find it a lot of fun, though, seeing them paired up, because obviously in season 2, they were kind of like, well, no, they were enemies. They had multiple like fist fights and stuff with each other. To see them teamed up while one of them is just like high as fuck, just like going around trying to find people, whereas MG Coin is trying to make sure that his ex is all right, but Namgu just doesn't care. He just wants to like kill whoever he wants. But we do see the Shaman Lady though, Kahuna, and I'll admit, Nathan and I, we had the greatest time watching the Shaman Lady in this game. Where she leads them to a full circle, and one of them's like, "I think we've been in this spot before." It's just the exact same room. But the bit that really got me laughing, though, was when she just like, oh, the key is shaking. It's telling me this is the right way. She opens the door. She comes out, runs away, and everyone's like, wait, where's she going? And this when Namgu and MG Coin come out the door, start killing all of them.
That was good, actually.
What a fortuitous event, I mean... the gods of earth, sky, and wind, or whatever, really showed her the way with that one.
But Kahuna, we did see multiple main characters die in this game, and I'll start with the big one. This one actually genuinely really pissed me off because I actually really liked this character so much. But Hunju, the transgender character, she went toe to toe twice. And survived, and still at the last minute, after finding the exit, is killed off. What did you think of her death scene? I guess just her as a character in general.
Like, it's one of those things where you go, okay, I know literally everyone has to die, There's only one winner, essentially. And I did not think it was going to be a baby. But I knew everyone was going to die. So you know it's going to happen, but at some point, but it did suck. Like, she was such a good character. In a world, in a story where basically everyone has no problem being gigantic pieces of shit, she was actually a good one. You know what I mean? Like, so it did suck, and especially because it was bloody Bitcoin boy. Like, he flipped that big time as well. Like, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just fucking murdering the crap out of people now." Like, no problem. Like, he's a Bitcoin guy. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, these people are absolute psychopaths. Like, the worst of the worst. They're not desperate down losers in debt. They're like mental. They're like the worst serial killers ever, and just have no problems leaning into that. Like, they took it out of the world of, like, he should have struggled a lot more. They didn't show any internal struggle with this thing that they've become. You know what I mean? Like, the first kill, you're like, oh my God, like, I've become the thing I hate or whatever, but, I'm so desperate, or it's out of survival or whatever it is. Nah, he's just like, I did it. I'm totally killing people all the time. Like, went from 0 kills to like 4 in that game.
Yeah.
I think didn't he kill Thanos as well? Didn't he kill the purple head guy? I'm pretty sure he did, right?
Oh yeah.
In a fight, though, right? Like, in a
yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. He was trying to kill him. Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
It doesn't count as murder if, like, the person is literally actively trying to kill you, right?
Yeah. That's self-defense.
Yeah.
That's self-defense.
But the rest of it, he didn't really show any murderous intent up to this point.
And like, they tried to do the thing of like, the other guy, the crazy one, is like, oh, who's in there? Is there someone in there? Let's go kill that person too. He's like, nah, there's no one here, and he's protecting his baby. He sees his actual child born. He's like, no, it's cool. So see, he's protecting it, right? By leaving her there with other, like, murderers running around. Like, his protection, by the way, is the worst, shittiest protection I've ever seen. Like, he didn't, like, she's like, you're going to look after me? Yeah, I'm going to look after you by just killing your friend and then fucking off.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
kill the bodyguard. That'll do it. No, don't worry, ma'am. You're safe now.
Just a couple of comments from Mr. Liam himself. Greetings.
Whoa.
Welcome back, Liam. From Roblox themselves. Hello. Nice to see you here. Same with Alia and Cynthia as well. Welcome all to the live. We're just going through all the games right now. We're just talking about hide and seek, but it's sort of a rivalry, Kahena, that we haven't really chatted about. It only lasted 2 episodes, which is pretty devastating. But from Dayho, he was the guy who had the whole, what I thought was PTSD, but it turns out he just, I don't know, has anxiety or some shit. He had the whole freak out with the shootout. And the whole time Gihan's just staring him down throughout the first episode. Yeah.
Hated that too. I hated that as well. Because I get it. He's like, oh, I'm so morose and I can't move. I'm handcuffed to the bed. And his whole rebellion was shut down. He wants to take this down. So he takes it out on one individual person who has, like, he was like, I'm sorry, I freaked out. I couldn't bring the bullets back. I'm going to fucking murder you.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It kind of went against his entire character as well. Gihan as well was just very, like, the whole point of the show, or like what my understanding of season 2 and 3 was can you make a man give up on humanity, right? Like, can you make this guy like end it? Like, can you make this guy really hate everybody in this game? And clearly no. Like, he clearly didn't to the very end. Like, he still had a lot of faith until the very end. But like this one guy, like, it seemed a bit, it seemed so different. Like, he never reacted this way with anyone in the first season. And there were people in the first season that, like, straight up murdered people he loved.
Literally Sun Woo is probably the best example, right? Where someone murdered 2 people right in front of Gihan, which one of them he truly cared about. and he still didn't even
and
have the same reaction.
Like maybe if they played it like how where he actually killed him. By the way, he could like it was that door open. He almost like he could fall over. Maybe if they played it up like an accident, like he was angry, he's chasing him, and then he tripped, and he actually does try to save him in the end, but he dies. But no, he choked him to death.
Yeah.
Like he actually, with his bare hands, killed this man. Like that takes an extra level of like not even stabbing once, and you go, oh shit, maybe I regret what I did now. But his character, the character they wrote, the hero of this story that sacrificed himself for the baby in the end, the whole thing, he murdered this man with his bare hands and choked the life out of him because he freaked out at getting shot at. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the thing that pissed me off the most about that is that he didn't kill the front man when he had the chance as well. Or at the very least, the reaction wasn't even the same. Like he wasn't just staring at him.
This guy's way worse.
No. This time it's actually your fault. Like, I mean, we had a whole episode of it's not your fault, but then this time it's actually your fault.
Yeah.
I could kill you, and it would be over. And but he didn't. He thought it through, whatever. And I guess maybe the whole experience changed him, but it was just stupid.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. It's like you say, oh, maybe the experience changed him, but it was what, like a day, 2 days, And I guess the next death I want to talk about is the son, right? Young Sik, he gets stabbed in the back, literally by his mum, his very own mother, who has literally said that if he was to die in the game, she's in the games for him in the first place as well, right? And I think one of the VIPs, and I hated the VIPs so much this time around, like one of them said something which I actually agreed with. It's like she literally murdered her own son for a chick she met like 4 days ago.
I like that actually.
You do?
Yeah, I appreciated that.
All right, explain it. Why did you appreciate it?
Well, I like that. Like, obviously, it means more that she killed her own son because he was going to murder the girl and a baby. Like, again, it's trying to emphasize how important it is to not murder babies. They're an innocent life that has nothing to do with anything. Yeah. And she's like, you can't kill a baby. I'm going to stop my son from becoming an absolute monster psychopath that's going to murder a baby. And then everyone else is like, yeah, let's just murder babies. Like,
they all kind of just devolve from there. I mean, my
that
point
should have set the line, right? That she was like, you can't do that. I'm going to kill my own son. This is the worst possible thing I can do. I'm like you said, Mucky, I'm here for my son. The reason why I'm here, and I'm even not going to let him do that because this is the worst. And then everyone else was like, fuck that.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty big point. I think I agree with Kahuna on, but it's also one of the reasons why I found it stupid was that the son had like multiple chances to kill other people.
Yeah, he chose the baby,
and he chose the baby, or the mother of a recently born baby. And it's like, dog, you couldn't take the life of someone who was trying to kill you earlier. And now you're gonna go after the baby, and then throughout it, he's like, "Mom, I'm a fuck up. I've screwed everything. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Oh, a baby." And then it's like,
if anything, the mum proved that she's got the same moral consistency. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like throughout.
I'll accept that. I can accept that to some degree. I still think it was stupid for the son to do it. I think maybe a reaction from the mum.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
A little bit better, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's your son. I would think twice, maybe. I don't know. I guess.
Here's my take. Right, I would have fully agreed with you guys if she didn't kill herself like the next morning. No. Like she literally like hangs herself because her son is dead. It's like, yeah, you did that though. You literally killed your own son, and you're like sad that people won't end the games and stuff like that and believe you. But you literally killed your own son. Like
I get that.
You went a whole step.
I don't know why I'm finding this mum now the most compelling character, because I get that. Like, I feel like,
ladies and gentlemen,
As a father of three, I'm going to use this bullshit line. everything. I'm better than everyone because I'm a father. Nah, like I feel like,
Yeah.
you see, if you ever want to go down a real horror path on YouTube and stuff, I haven't clicked on it because I don't know if I could click on them, but my algorithm the last couple of days is new videos where it's like parents finding out their son is a serial killer and stuff like that, right? Like I feel like if my son, as much as I love him, was like hurting women or being like a psycho, was going to kill a baby, I would probably stop him, right? I'd be like, and then I would feel like a piece of shit after that. Like she did the right thing by doing it. It doesn't erase the fact that she killed her own son. She killed the son for the right reasons, but she still killed the son. And that's why she's struggling with that. I know I did the right thing, but I can't live with myself doing the right thing because I killed my son. So I get that. Like from a story, from a narrative, from a writing perspective, that bit there, her killing the son, feeling so horrible about it that she then kills herself, probably the best bit of writing for me. Like that, as far as we're talking about following its own rules, its own moral consistency within the story, within all that, that actually doesn't contradict to me at all.
Yeah. I guess just quickly moving on to the last main character that died in this game, the Shaman Lady. I don't even know where to begin. She accidentally finds the excerpt after just bumping into Gihan, who's about to
Not
kill
accidentally.
her.
No, you take that back. The god of earth, sky.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But like, yeah. That thing
Even though there was that one scene which is like, oh, the gods of earth will tell me where to go, and she's like pointing, but she looks down at that arrow she made. It's like, oh yes, it's this way.
Or like when she just went in the giant circle and then came back and was like, the gods of earth and sky told me to go the other way now.
It's marking her way back though with the blood. Like,
that was actually smart.
He was actually smart.
Smart plays.
Yeah, it's not very often that in Squid Games, like people will do like a smart thing, but at least that was smart, right? Sort of marking where everything was. But she finds this old dude who also did a smart thing. He sees that Namgu and MG Coin are coming his way, so he covers himself in blood and pretends to be dead.
Worst way to do it, by the way. Oh, where's the one place that bleeds the most from the body when stabbed? The face.
Oh gosh, no, but anyway, so they find the exit and whatnot, and the old guy's just like, do you know what would be really funny? And he just like takes one of the keys and just locks the Shaman Lady in the game. I love this guy. I know a lot of people on the internet hate his guts. The whole like one more game, but to me, he's so funny.
You know what I don't understand about this dude?
What?
The whole way through, I'm like, I get he owes 10 billion won, and it's a massive amount of money, but the bravura on this man to back himself in the slightest. What in his life makes him think that he can do anything in this fucking game? He's like, how does he like look at himself and go, yeah, man, let's keep going. I'm going to win this shit. Like, he's the worst competitor out of the entire thing, and he just keeps backing himself the entire way. Like,
you say that, but he made top 4. Okay,
you're forgetting Kahuna. This is the man who got $10 billion won into debt. All right, most people reach like 100 mil. Most people reach like, oh, I have to sell a kidney at 50. This guy got to 10 billion without getting caught. This man has evaded the police and every form of government audit for years, apparently.
But what's so funny?
Legitimate debt, right? Like he bought a business or he tried to build a building, and he's a whatever developer. A lot of people have $100 million worth of debt and
you
shit,
have to have some form of liquidity in order to get out of that. Like you need to you need to run like 3 fire festivals. You need to be in some serious shit to get that far in. And
my thing with him was, why did anyone listen to him? I don't get how anyone is. that's the other bit that like really got me the shits was when they all were like, they're like, hey, let's kill the baby, or let's kill that person and that person, and all of them all of a sudden are just like, yes, we're the team. We are bonded in our mutual. I'm gonna follow this fucking guy. This whatever he says, no matter what, we are in. Like, I don't understand the like how like is he got like mind control, because they're listening to him. They're like, yeah, he's right. Let's kill that dude. Like, what the fuck? Why? Like, I don't understand. Nothing is explained. There's no build up to get into the point where they're buying in with this guy, killing babies. Like, all of a sudden they're fine with murder, and this old piece of shit that's obviously a crap person to team up with. Let's listen to him. Let's go with that guy. He's my dude. You know who I'd be going with? The fucking winner. That's who I would have gone with. The guy that knew exactly what happened in the first game, that saved all of us, who's been through it before, and the dude that's saying kill him. Let's go with that guy. Like, what the hell?
What's so funny is that Nathan and I, because our whole group basically was watching the like the whole series together, Kahuna, and we're pretty much breaking it down. He needs to make top 4 just to break even, right? Just to break even with his debt. And then I think, like, what is it when they're standing on top of the final Squid Game things, and he's like saying how much he'll share with them? It's what, like $100?
Yeah,
or like
so
100 million?
it was like 100 million. Yeah. So he was basically like, I only need 100 million to get out. I can give you guys like $1 million. It's like, bro.
Yeah, and can I just say, Cynthia, I don't have Netflix. I'm listening to you guys talk like it's the actual thing. That is loyalty to a T, Cynthia. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're an absolute legend. But yeah, so the Shaman Lady dies. Do any of us really have any strong feelings on the Shaman Lady apart from
I mean, the way she died was pretty funny. I mean, she went out kind of like at least I'm gonna be consistent. If we're talking about consistency, she went out being like, I'm an asshole. I'm gonna stay an asshole, and I don't regret it. And then someone just stabs her.
Why not? It was Min Soo, the guy who's like, he's a junkie.
He was hallucinating, right? But he wouldn't. He would have probably left her alone if she just didn't insult him.
Yeah. She had to push it.
Yeah, she just had to do it. Hey, she had to do it to him.
You're gonna stab me?
Yeah. You dumbass. You shouldn't have lived this long. You kill yourself. And then it's like, well, he's the one holding the knife. Like,
yeah.
And then she has the audacity to try and walk away as well. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's so great. But let's skip on to the next game, right? Which is the jumping rope game, right? And when I saw the lights originally, I was like, oh, this is going to be hard. This is like jump rope where the rope goes around, but like green lights when you can like move, but once it's red light, like with like the street lights I had was red light, you have to like stay in that spot and keep on jumping if that's what makes sense. Can't go forward or backwards. That's what I thought would have been so interesting. But no, not really. It's just you have to cross a track, rope comes around, and that's pretty much it, right? Pretty simple. I'd say it's an easier version of Glass Bridge, I would say. The only bit that makes it hard is if you have someone.
You have to at least jump. Like, it looked tiring because they wouldn't fucking move.
Yeah.
Like, if you stand on that bridge for 10 minutes, you're going to die. You can't just jump non-stop, especially this old dude apparently could. But yeah, like, it certainly was.
Oh, has it gone?
If you could jump, then you're getting across. Like, if you could keep that consistent jumping and timing, there's no dying. Like, you can't really. Like, I couldn't do it. I would have died. But like, I don't see. Yeah, like, it was pretty easy for them if it wasn't for the asshole on the other end.
Yeah,
trying to kill them all.
Yeah, which that to me, really paid off in terms of the voting system, right? Because I think the voting system was there for the front man to be like, hey, Gihan, fuck you. Everyone wants to stay in these games, right? To try and break them. right? To sort of like, turn him against humanity and stuff. Because I think that was the original idea for season 2, season 3 is how can we break this man down to the point where maybe he's willing to kill another person, like in hide and seek, or where, I guess we're talking about the twist where him and the front man have faced the same decision on killing everyone in their sleep or not. Is that something Gihan is now pushed to do now that his mind is sort of broken down by it? But where this came full circle was when it gets very similar to hide and seek, where it's like, well, if we just kill as many blue shirts as we can, the red shirts are also going to die as well. So there's more money for us. Like, if I just keep pushing people off the edge here, like, this is more money that we can share between us. Like, it's once again breaking the game.
Gamification, game meta. He absolutely broke it. Like, he should have done that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you're right. We should totally do this. Then it's just us two, and then I push you off and I win. Like it immediately could have done it. Like, ended the whole show right there.
Yeah. No, something that I did find really funny though. I was actually kind of sad because I actually do really like Namgu a lot. The villain druggy sidekick, which is really funny because he voted to stop the games because he lost the drugs. So he clearly didn't want to take a share of money just to go and buy some more drugs. But he's really tweaking the fuck out. He's having withdrawals, and Minsu's like, "Hey, I've got the case. You want the drugs? You want the drugs? We'll go fetch it." It's on the bridge, and this man, he jumps, he crawls, he grabs the case, opens it. There aren't any drugs, and then he gets.
I like that he couldn't even wait till he got over the other end.
Yeah.
I thought he was like. Yeah, I was like, don't look at it now.
Like, if there were drugs in there, was he going to take them on the bridge?
Yeah.
That's why he would have got to the other side first, bro.
I was really hoping there was one in there left. He tries to take one, he drops it, and he just dives after it.
It would have been like with Lord of the Rings when Gollum tries to grab the ring.
Drug was there, and he popped it. Then it's over anyway, because with those drugs, he would have popped it, the rope would have come around, the rope would have broke on him, and just stopped the entire mechanism.
Yeah, he kicked it. It starts swinging the other way.
This magical drug.
Yeah. No, but we do see the end of Namgu here. He didn't really have a lot to do in season 2 apart from, hey, I'm Thanos' side man. Yeah, I'm gonna do whatever he says. But I feel like he really
doll eye fucking arc.
Yeah.
What the...
Again, he didn't really go through much in the end, did he? There was not much to say in the end, I guess.
I just enjoyed him because he was a man on drugs with a knife. That's great TV right there.
Just go outside on Auckland on a Saturday night. Like, what are you waiting?
That's why I live next to K Road. All right, this is what I pay rent to see. All right,
visit Hamilton for the weekend. What are you waiting for?
I don't know what drugs are like in South Korea or what the culture is like, but are South Koreans watching this going, "Whoa, yeah, man, drugs." Say no to drugs for sure.
Yeah. Do you reckon parents show their kids that scene? It's like, that's what happens when you take drugs. Never take drugs, kids.
Don't even walk into a pharmacy. That's what will happen to you.
Oh gosh. But no, we do get, that interesting piece of drama where the guy, he's pushing people off and stuff like that, and then Gihan is like, "Hey bro, if you keep doing that, I'm just going to push you off and I'll take all the money for myself." He's sort of like, "Oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't think about that." And then he just backs off. It was like, "All right, everyone, come on through." And that's where our old man, Player 100, is able to just make it in. Yeah.
At that point, if you just watch, if you're Gian, right, and keeping in mind he straight out chokes someone to death as well. But if he's saying, "Hey, stop it, don't do that, be a good person," essentially, like, you just watched him literally murder people right in front of you as well. You can't reason with that. Like, what about the next game? Like, at that point, he should have just fucking pushed him off anyway. Like, you can't go, "Hey man, let's settle down." Like, I think you've gone a little bit too far. He's like, "You're right."
I do have a counter, and I'll put something up there. I'll give the show the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the writing was smart, slightly smart. Maybe it accounted for this. Gihan was in the red bib, which means he had to have killed someone. Maybe they just thought, oh, okay, this guy's got like the gumption to kill a guy. So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I better back up because he might actually just kill me, right?
Yeah.
I can.
But we
I
do
can
see
say,
we do see multiple times. So he like has someone cornered and he's got the knife. You know, at one point they do like the fake out. I actually love this so much where it's like, it looks like he's chasing down that dude, but it's just someone else with the same hairstyle, and it's like their massive drop off. He lets him
He was
live.
gonna straight up stab him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
If it was actually the guy,
before he choked him, he was gone.
Yeah, but
So-
I just love the
But he
moment
wouldn't
where
do
like
this guy. He was like,
No.
again, that one dude, fuck you in particular, because but everyone else, I'll let some shit go, man. I'll just let that slide. Like I saw, you're murdering people, settle down. But the other guy who just didn't bring bullets back to him, I'm
yeah.
gonna stab you. Like,
it'd be really funny if he accidentally killed like the guy that looked like him, and then he was like, "Oh shit!" and then he sees the other guy, and then he's like, "Well, now I'm like," then he just starts going after him anyway.
the worst villain to him was someone who he doesn't like stolen valor. That's what it is.
Yeah, of course. Doesn't like keep.
Yeah, it's like you pretended to be in the army. That's the problem. If you murder people straight up and just pretend you're evil, like I'm good with that. Like say you're evil, I'm good with that. But you pretended to be in the army and you weren't. So
Yeah.
yeah,
What a crime!
Yeah, it's
lying
a
is
crime.
wrong.
Oh god. But there's not really much else really happens with this game. You know, Namgu was like the main guy who actually like who dies from the rope bridge. But we do see Junhee, you know.
Yeah.
She's trying to jump. She can't because in the hide and seek game, she like, you know, she broke her ankle, fractured her ankle, trying to run away at one point. And
It was
so
a
she can't
serious
jump.
fracture, by the way. That bruise
Yeah.
really developed very quickly. I was surprised by how fast it went purple, but whatever, it's fine. But,
Yeah. And
I think she could have made it.
I thought she was going to get a piggyback ride, man. Someone chuck her on a surely, you know, that would have been good writing.
MG Coin and Gihan would have been
yeah.
Well,
and you got to climb the jumps together, and it's way hard. I can't jump with you on my back. Like, you know, there's more drama you could have pulled out of that, I thought, you know.
Because what I picked up very quickly, and I even said this while watching the game, MG, like the final battle is going to come down to MG Coin and Gihan, and who's going to take care of the baby, right? Like I picked up on that straight away. But what I thought was going to happen was that maybe MG Coin's the one who saves Junhee, you know, his ex, and maybe that's how she starts to trust him a bit and stuff like that. And so if now she kind of has to choose, does she go with Gihan or does she go with the father of the baby? Right? Because he's like trying to put an effort to save her, but he even just like leaves her there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
He walks away. He's like, yeah, all right, I gotta go. You don't want to come? Cool. Fuck you then.
And it's a heartbreaking scene, you know, like Gihan, he's wanting to come back and get her because like he's the first one to cross the bridge with like a baby as well. You know, like he aces it like a real champ, you know, with a baby. He's gonna come back and grab her, but she's like, no, Gihan, no. There was hardly any suicides last season. So I gotta make up for it. And she leaps off the edge and dies. And I thought it was a pretty sad death. You know, very similar to the old man in the first season, you know, like before we found out he was evil. I mean, Nathan, I know you clocked it like almost straight away, but like I recall seeing the old man, I was like, oh no. Like he's got the, you know, like brain cancer, like something really horrible is going to happen to him in these games. And we see, you know, the main character is trying to trick him, you know, in the marbles game to get his marbles and stuff. And I could just tell with just a pregnant chick, like she's obviously going to give birth in one of the games. Something shit's going to happen to her. And yeah, it was quite sad to see her go, actually.
There was a part of me that was hoping and thinking that you would if there was ever a setup where you didn't have to kill everyone, this was the season, because he's trying to bring down the games. He's trying to end it. They start a rebellion. That whole premise, by the way, I said this to you last season when we did season 2, Mucky. I was like, I don't like that the whole thing, like, because where do you go from trying to destroy the games? Like, keep playing, like you can't keep playing after that. Like that's done now. You can't just keep going because they'll rebel at any point. Like,
which is really funny that straight after the rebellion, they play a game where they give them knives.
Yeah. Like, here's a weapon. like we're down 27 people, and we're down 27 soldiers and 8 managers. Anyway, here's a way to kill more of us.
Yeah, like I thought, this is actually set up for we can have that. You can bring down the front man, kill everyone, and the transgender and the mum and the baby are all alive because, hey, guess what? Their Squid Games is crumbled now, right? You don't have to kill everyone. It didn't have to get to the final thing because there was a rebellion that broke it. That could have been a way to write it if you really wanted to, but I mean, I know that's lame. Like, you have to kill people. It's much more dramatic and made it way better. But this was they wrote a season that allowed for it rather than, and then they didn't do anything with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Now, there's a couple other plots that I'd like to talk about. They're just like absolutely stupid, but we'll talk about that after the final game. But Nathan, just before we do move on to the final game, anything about jump rope, John Hee or Namgul that you want to bring up?
I do think the best scene in the season was Junhee's sacrifice. Don't get me wrong. There could have been a lot of better things leading up to it. There could have been more of an attempt to save her. Obviously, there's a lot there, but I do think there's been this like kind of reoccurring theme, this side theme, I guess, of like mothers and like protecting the next generation and making sure that making sure that the people who can win will, that good people who can win will, and that will continue the goodness moving forward. And so I guess that that sacrifice was really meaningful. So like you watch a lot of stupid media where a lot of people sacrifice themselves for no reason. This is like one of those times where like, I think it's a good moment. You know what I mean? Like she's had the child as well. I mean, even if she didn't have a broken ankle, she probably wouldn't have made it very far, even in the final game. You know, if everybody started fighting, she would have also been out as well, and she would have also had a baby. I think overall just a really kind of touching moment. It was the most heartfelt moment in my eyes. Yeah,
I do think it's kind of stupid. We've already talked about it, but like the baby is now a player. I do think that aspect was pretty stupid. Like, because I remember in the first season, right? The whole thing was about equality, right? That every player has a fair chance, has an equal shot. I mean, I know that they had a rebellion and they killed 30 plus of your guards and shit. But I didn't realize that quality was really all out the window. You get what I mean? And it's like, well, we have a few hours old baby. Yeah, we're gonna put the baby in the game. We're gonna literally put the baby in Squid Game. All right, who are you gonna push off a building? These grown ass men who are pretty strong and gonna put up a fight, or a 24-year-old.
The fact none of those VIPs are it's going to die. It didn't even occur. It's crazy to me. Billionaires, ladies and gentlemen, people who have made billions of dollars, hopefully through some kind of investing of some kind, and they're like, baby's got equal chance. I bet on the baby.
Their parents are billionaires. They're nepo baby billionaires.
Of course, they're trust fund babies. They will all be babies succeeding.
I thought about it this morning, because obviously all the VIPs this season were really young and just annoying as fuck, to be honest. Imagine if we had the who's the Hawk Tour? hot tour chick who started her own Bitcoin.
Haley
Like-
Haley Welsh, is that her name?
Yeah, can you imagine if she was one of the VIPs and it's like in this universe, like her hot tour coin like really took off?
Oh, that baby just went hot tour out of that.
Spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing. I mean, it would have made sense because they did something similar with the guy in season 1 where he takes, you know, one of the pieces of furniture. He's like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, bloody if this chair can satisfy me in 5 minutes, I'll change his life. You know, that chick now doing it, which I've seen a lot of people praise for online about as well. Like, oh my god, Slay Queen, but it's the same shit. Okay, it's just that you don't see like a fucking chubby ass stomach this time. You know,
I mean,
it is gonna happen.
sex with a
But...
chair, like, it's
Yeah,
just like
Can't say
that's
that chair was probably like, oh, I lucked out.
Thank you, gods of sky, wind, and earth. Thank you, gods of sky, wind, and earth. I didn't get the guy in the bull mask.
But anyways, the final game, right, is Squid Game, except Kahuna is in the sky. And you know, we covered like most of season 47 of Survivor together, like last year. And I remember for the merge challenge, it was right, you gotta team up into 2 pairs of 2, or no, like 2 teams of 6 or something like that. You then gotta like do this challenge, but the winning 6 gets like food and the losing 6 doesn't. And then like you then gotta do an individual immunity challenge afterwards, which the person then is safe, and then it's just a regular vote. And I recall our massive thing was, why didn't they just do the one challenge? Why did it have to be like 2 things broken up? It just wasted time. It's just dramatic for no reason. Why not just do that one challenge and just be over and done with, right? Yeah. And it would have just been a regular merge episode. I have the same feeling about this game. It was Squid Game, but in the sky. But it's like, why didn't they just do it like 4v4 Squid Game?
Well, they made this room. Like,
yeah.
You gotta get the most, like, it took a lot of effort to build those things.
Yeah.
For some reason. Like, it had an elevator in it. Like, this is engineering, like, that you have not seen before. The resources of the Squid Game are unbelievable. I know they got billionaire investors and stuff, but how big is this fucking island as well, by the way, is what I want to know. Like, they're literally going to the core of the earth and stuff. Like, they got a skyscraper underground. Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And like, what I found funny about the 3 towers as well was I thought it was going to be some sort of parkour thing, right? Because we kept on talking about on all the walls inside the game, right? Because in the first season they had like the tug of war, the marbles, the Dalgona, all that sort of stuff, right? All along the walls, and that was like a hint. That's something as well, I guess, just going on a quick random rant that I feel like, you know, their seasons had, where it's like when you rewatch the first season, you see all the clues. Where it's like in episode 2, they tell you how everyone dies in the game. The gangster guy, he jumps over a bridge to save himself. He dies in glass bridge. You know, Sungwoo's trying to kill himself. He dies by killing himself in the end. Ali, he like steals from someone and runs away. Sungwoo steals his marbles and runs away. You know, and it's like all those small little bits and stuff. Even with the old man, there's so many like hints and details. Like in Tug of War, he doesn't have locks on his cuffs, so if his team was losing, he could just like move to the side and he'll be perfectly fine. It's a small details that you pick up on that makes rewatching it great. I don't know if these seasons will have the rewatchability because like there's no hints or reveal or cheeky things to sort of keep an eye out for. If that makes sense, but
I'm of a similar opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. But I will say this game here though was the first Squid Game I looked at and went, "Oh shit, I'm winning this one." Like I could go in that one. I just sit down. I'm 150 kilos at the moment. Like I'm sitting. Like, you're not getting me off this thing, man. Come, let's bring it.
First thing I do, I just run to the middle. I take the pole and I throw it off the edge, and then I'm like,
Oh
"Oh no!"
I was
And-
like, oh, this is that Mario Party game where you're on the balls and you just push each other off. Like, that's all it was. They just have to shove each other off. And again, I don't know why those guys decide to just. It's just locked in. It's in concrete. We're together. Those guys are gone. I don't give a shit. Like I don't know how they were so one-minded together. Like the whole, and even when Gian's trying to sow that little bit of doubt, he's like, "Hey, man, they're gonna get rid of you next," kind of thing. I'm like, "Yeah, that's what you should do. That's how you should be thinking." But I'm like, they don't even think that way whatsoever. They're just like, "Nah, we're in this together. Everyone's together." Yeah. I've literally seen these people kill everyone else, throw people off the thing. Like, I know they're pieces of shit that are willing to kill babies, but there's no way they're going to turn their back on me. No chance. Like, why would, like, you know what I mean? Like, that did as well to me. They're just so trusting of giant pieces of shit. Like, I don't understand.
What is it? He lied to him by telling him the truth. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is where, for me personally, like, I feel like this is maybe the only game the Squid Game has done where I was just out of it. I just didn't feel that invested into it. It's like, really, like, the first person to die is going to be Kahena and the baby. Of course not. It's going to be like the guy who's tripping fucking hard. We're seeing Thanos. He's like, come here, my boy. Come here, my boy. You know, on the very edge. And even when Minso gets pushed off, he's like trying to shake a hand as well. And it's like, clearly everyone there is like, yeah, this guy's way too guy. He's such an easy kill. And I wonder if, like with Minso, like they put in so much effort for him just for him to be like a junkie. You get what I mean? He's just like a druggie, and that's pretty much all of his character is. Like, what did he really do? Nothing.
Which is completely not his actual character at all.
No, absolutely not. And I wonder if maybe you'd plays like him that died in hide and seek, right? You know, him, the son, like these characters that aren't really fleshed out. Because I guess that's the issue with having so many characters. It's so hard to really flesh them out. Compared to season one, where with the last three, Sabyok, Sungwoo, and Gihan, like these were the big three right from the very start. And what is it? The big three at the end of this one is the old man who owns 10 billion, a baby, the main guy, and crypto dude. You get what I mean? Like there's no real weight to it, you know. And I wonder if maybe we had characters like the transgendered character. Maybe the mother, maybe if Junhee was still their characters who we've, spent a lot of time with developed. A game like this where you do need to push someone off, I reckon like that could work if there's a lot of like investment into them. But since it was the main guy and the baby's like, well, they aren't going to die in the first two ones. And like you have MG Koi and it's like, all right, he's going to make it pretty far in this. So we've got all this other cannon fodder. It's like, okay, but which one of the cannon fodder?
Literally saying to Beck when we were watching, I go, well, I kept calling the other guys red shirts.
Yeah,
I was like,
literally.
Yeah. You know what a red shirt is, Mucky?
Yeah. It's pretty much just like a player that you kill off, like a person that's just there to be killed.
In Star Trek, whenever they went down on a planet and there was people that went with Kirk and Spock and and they're nobodies, you're like, well, clearly the red shirt, like the whole thing is they went down because they're gonna die. Like they're the red shirts.
Yeah.
And like, well, these fucking guys, like, who are they? Like, they like, you got nothing to do with anything. Like, you're just like, then you're probably gonna die. The guy from behind the old man going, get that guy. He's dead.
Can you imagine if all of them lost and it was just that one guy who wanted to be a lunchbox or something, and he won? Like, can you imagine?
That was
the big twist.
That's what saved the game for me. That's what saved the game for me when MG Coin turns the tables. He's like, right, I'm gonna start attacking. What is such a stupid idea to start attacking them? Before the timer runs out. At least wait for the timer to run out. And then move on to the last one before you start killing everyone. But like, I just loved it when he turns the tables. He's like, "Yeah, I'm with Gihan. Like, it's us and the baby because I'm the father, you know, which, you know, like one of the most classic I'm your father moments, obviously Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, you know, it still shocks people to this day. And then MG Coin be like, I'm the father. And it was just like, what the fuck?
Really?
Oh,
Really?
yeah,
You?
shit.
No?
He's bad. Like,
Yeah, like,
oh,
like it
wow.
was just like, oh, okay. Like, I almost wanted to
then-
be like a.
All the baby killers that want to punt this baby into the sky, they're all like, "What, dude? That's kind of fucked up, man." So like, you're the dad and you're doing this shit? Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I almost wanted.
Bros are fucked.
Have you guys?
He's like, yeah, you wanted to pump this baby too. What's wrong with you?
Hey, Kahuna, have you seen Family Guy Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know when Chris finds out that Stewie is his father, and he goes, "What?" Like that. I really wanted that. If there's one bit of dramatic Asian acting we need, it's that moment of them pulling.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would
I
have.
would have actually loved like an old man sarcastic moment, like the guy who owes 10 billion,
What?
and it would just been like, "I'm the father." It's like, yeah, no shit.
And anyways, and while Kahena and MG Coin are having a chat, there's a fight going on, and the old man and all the other dudes picked one guy, started beating the shit out of him, and he's like, "Hello, I have a great idea. Like we're not going to kill this guy. We're going to beat him till he's almost dead. Then we'll drag him to the final thing, throw him off, and then we all win. It's a great idea." And then they're like, "You don't know. We're going to save that guy." So then they get into a massive fight.
The guy that wanted to punt babies as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't hurt him.
Exactly.
Don't hurt the murderer guy.
Exactly.
Wow. Great.
And
I mean, honestly though, that guy went out like a real one. That
yeah.
guy.
After these guys
By the
went
way,
out of
Kahuna,
their way.
that guy, father of two.
He's a father
He
too.
says it as well.
Yeah, so Gihan and G Coin goes out of their way to like attack everyone. Gihan even pulls out his knife and starts stabbing people and shit, it's just them, the old man, and Lunchbox dude. And he just crawls himself to the end. He's like, "Guess what, guys? Fuck you. I'm not a lunchbox." He just kills himself.
This is the guy who was also like, I have a I have like 2 kids as well, and I want to like get the money to them too. And it's like, dude, you try to kill a baby, A, and then B, like, I know, I get it, but like these guys, at least one of them has got like some trust. Like, he's been carrying a baby this entire time. He will get your family the money. Like, you do not. If you're gonna go out like this, you do not need to. Okay, goodbye. As he falls.
Yeah, like you've gone to that point. You've done all this shit. You've turned on every single one of your morals. You're like literally killing people. You're willing to kill a baby, and you're like, I don't want to be a lunchbox though.
What kind of cosplay is this? Like...
I got too much pride for that.
And I don't know why this happens. Like I generally don't remember why, but MG Coin also pushes the old man off, and it's like,
because he was going to kill the old man to then bring the lunchbox for the final thing. And that's why he was like, "You can be your lunchbox, bro." So he had a spare, so he could get rid of the old man.
Yeah, and then
but then
what
he
I
lost
predicted came true.
Yeah.
It's MG Coin versus Gihan, and MG Coin moves on to the final ledge, but he's just like, "No, you stay there, bro." He gets the pole. He's like waving it around and stuff, literally waving around his pole. And it's like, "Give me the baby." Nah, I'm good. And that pretty much happens for like 5 minutes. He's like, "Give me the baby. You're going to kill it." "No, I won't." And then it just waits for another 5 minutes.
Because didn't he want the money in the end? That was the whole point, right?
Yeah,
because
MJ
like
wanted the money. Yeah,
yeah, so he didn't even care about the baby in the end. I found that twist to be a bit stupid, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know, there was just plenty of opportunities to like kill Junhee. Actually, killing the baby would have probably been like faster in a lot of ways if you really didn't care.
Was he
So
gonna
was he
kill the
just trying to
baby?
get away with the baby? Because then why was he just trying to save the baby as like the final thing?
Yeah,
Couldn't he
I
have just
thought he
waited?
was.
I
Yeah,
think he was trying to save the baby,
But then
but I
if he didn't
think
let him come across, if he didn't let him come across, it wouldn't have counted as he would have had to kill the baby, right?
I
yeah,
think Gihan would have killed himself, to be honest. Like, I think Gihan would have been like, "Hey, it's just the two of us. What do you want to do?" And then he'll be like, "I mean, I kind of want to take care of my baby. Do you want to just like, how do you want to handle this?" And then Gihan will be like, "Yeah, I guess I can just do it, right?" And then just die, because like that seems like what would happen normally. Like if
Yeah.
the father actually was like trying to take care of his baby, but like he like kind of just turns crazy at the end. And you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
why? And
Yeah.
his whole actions were just very contradictory for someone who wanted the money in the end, like saving the lunchbox, which is
Yeah.
it's just a bit.
I
It
think he's
was
trying to save the baby. But then I
yeah,
feel like he wouldn't have been able to if Gian didn't come across. If he
Yeah.
kept Gian on the second one, he would have got to the third one, started it, and then you have to punt the baby or fall or kill yourself.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
he could have told Gihan to kill himself.
Well,
No,
no,
but he
because
wasn't
of,
able to come across. He
Uh,
wouldn't
but
have made
like,
it.
my thing is, he could have just lied. He could have just been like, "Hey, come
Yeah,
across."
he said, "Come on, let's go." Let's...
Yeah, and then just done it, because he would have done it. Like, I mean, like, surely he would have done it. Like, that's so. So it just kind of bothered me. It just kind of bothered me, like that. All of this kind of like led to him just going insane, and then a final little fight at the end, and then a baby winning.
I just feel like so much of what happens in this show is not how people think. It's not what people do. It's just not how people are. It's like they're writing aliens or like cartoon characters kind of thing.
Well, that's why I think season one will never be topped. Even with Squid Game USA, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about shortly as well. Like, the characters were written like way too well. Yes, they had the archetypes of Ali, the hero, Sung Woo's like the devious kind of villain. But he wasn't the obvious villain, he was the villain at the very end, right? And I think they were trying to set something up with MG Coin where it's like he's like slowly becoming the Sung Woo, but Sung Woo he wasn't killing people straight away. Like he killed Ali, like because it was between him and Ali, right? And then he killed someone on Glass Bridge because they were just standing there. And then when he realized that Gihan was going to end the game to save Bjork, that's why he killed it. You know, he wasn't just killing people for the sake of it, but they made MG Coin. Yeah, I'm gonna like team up with let's kill the babies gang, even though it's my own baby, and then I'm gonna kill all of them because why? Do you get what I mean?
Well, I always got the impression that he was just sneaking. Like he wasn't going to kill the baby. He was not really on their side. He was kind of just playing along as a ruse to protect the baby. Many opportunities that baby could have died and he didn't have any. Like he couldn't have done a single thing because of his pretending. But like in his head, it was like, well, the baby got to this point because I was kind of playing it cool. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I don't know. There's so much of like, why did you do this? Like, why are people?
There were just so many inconsistent actions of like, oh, if you really cared, like, do you really care? If you really cared about the money, surely, because she didn't want to work with you from the beginning. She never did work with you in the beginning. So like, why are you doing this? Like up to this point. So the argument I could see was the reason he was so nice to the Junhee, the pregnant girl, while she was pregnant, was that he needed an ally, right? Because everybody was kind of against him. So, but then you get to a certain point where that ally thing doesn't even become an issue anymore, and she's also got a broken like ankle. So why keep up the ruse? And then even more so, why?
Because
like you kill the, you kill the you kill the girl, and then you see your girlfriend, your baby, the mother there, all on the ground. You could just kill them there. There's no point in hiding it, right? There's no point in being like, because no one can trace it to you. Like there's also just it just seems like a whole bunch of inconsistent things. Like it genuinely did seem he cared about the baby.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get out with the girl and the baby. That was his goal, is to win money with them. Like,
But
I think
then,
that's what he wanted, but nothing he did really.
yeah. And then even to the very end, it's like, so he wanted to get out with the if his decision was to get out with the girl and the baby, why was just not leaving with the baby enough? Like, why did he need all of it in the end then, eh? Because like that was my kind of understanding of it now. Is like, okay, so now he just wants to leave with everything, but the baby's still yours. So it just didn't make much sense. Like, and once again, inconsistency. Really big inconsistency throughout the entire show. Or the entire 2 seasons.
And MG Coin and Gihan, you know, they get into a scrap, you know, and pretty much the winner's gonna like look after the baby. But none of them taps the button. And you know, they go off the edge. MG Coin, he falls to his death. Gihan comes back up and sees the button is still red. And he's just like, oh shit. Well, I guess this is it. And he looks directly where he thinks the front man's gonna be, taps the button. And it's like, front man, like, I kind of feel like this was like his last moment to be like, you know, we are humans. This isn't.
Yeah, me. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but
right, you got baby, you won.
Yeah, exactly. And no, but he decides to kill himself. He saves the baby, and like the whole time I was watching this, which I guess we could talk about it now. But what the fuck was the police detective plot? You know, like in season 1, it actually like made. I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense. Like I feel like everything wrong or like that's kind of average about the first season was all tied into the police detective, right? And then season 2, I mean, literally, you can summarize his entire story. He tries to find the island, but he can't find it. What's the one dramatic moment for him? That the boat captain was actually like part of the games. But who figures that out? The guy who wears like a horse mask in season 2. The guy who's portrayed as like an absolute idiot, like an absolute retard. He's the one that figures it out, not the professional police detective. Or any of these military guys.
I think I said something like when that guy points out that the captain was suspicious, and then the detective, I pretended I was like, what are you talking about? The captain being suspicious? I've been searching the entire ocean with this guy for over a year, and we haven't found anything. Sure. How is that suspicious?
Yeah, and the boat captain pretty much wipes out the entire team except for the police guy and one other person, and everyone on the other boat is dead as well. So it's like, cool, we've got 2 people heading to stop the games. And the whole time I was thinking, how is this going to end? You know, like how I don't understand. And you know, it's this whole thing I had where it's like, Squid Game says it was terrible. Pretty much, yeah. We're talking about all the shit parts now. I was like, okay, how's 2 guys with machine guns and the dude who's in the game with a baby gonna stop the whole entire operation? Like Gihan had like trained Marines with him who are like the players, and they still lost in a rebellion fight. So how are these people gonna do it? And then Gihan dies. Like, okay, well that's it. Or like the main plot is done. It's gone. You know, it's sad to see him go. It does sort of make me wonder what was really the point behind all of it, because I felt like there was no main messaging or story. It's just like, okay, he died.
Yeah, he did. Like, the games did come to an end. He kind of got what he wanted, but nothing to do with him whatsoever. Yeah. The whole getting discovered by the Coast Guard or whatever had nothing to do with him. Like, and that was his whole thing, is like, I'm bringing down the games. And it's like, well, you didn't, but it still happened anyway.
Yeah. And, you know, the police detective, you know, he finds the island, which, I guess the way he finds the island, like I predicted it, well, I didn't predict it exactly, but it's sort of on point with the whole organ plot. Right, so in the first season, you know, the police detective is is sort of a part of this plot with their harvest organs and stuff. You know, they send them back ashore to make, you know, extra money and stuff. And I was like, okay, this is how he's going to find the island. He's going to find the island because he's going to notice the organ stuff. And he's going to be like, wait a minute. And then he's going to follow that boat. And that's how he finds the island with the Marines. And that's how they have their fight. But no, he finds the island by finding a boat of a player trying to escape, player 246. Which, what even was he? He's just a dad with a kid who's like cancer or something.
Yeah.
That whole plot sucked.
It's
That
just
whole thing
it's
was
just absolutely terrible.
He was so taken by his drawings back when she worked at the same amusement park.
like
She
Yeah.
saw that little, she just gave up being an assassin killer. I murder people, straight up shoot them in the face.
just
But he is
I mean,
a baby.
yeah, you know, like, yeah, sure, like, oh, I guess we'll just fucking kill anything. Like, she could have killed that baby. She could have been assigned to killing that baby, but nah, instead.
Yeah.
But then also just the other guy, the one that was in charge of it, like the second in command, other than the front line, front man, just all of that, just the fight scene between them, like the crawling towards like the thing and then taking the machine gun and shooting him, and then like just the entire sequence was just so bad. I was kind of just asking myself, what was the point? And in the end, I didn't even get an answer.
Yeah, exactly. At one point, like he like literally has it on the floor. He's about to kill her. It's like, but I'm just gonna grab some whiskey. I'm just gonna grab some whiskey, and I'm gonna tell you my entire life story on why I entered the games and why I thought you were something special, why we were something special. None of this was like built up or anything. It's not like anyone was like, oh, I really want to see more of this pink soldier chick in the
this guy, because this guy's been such an established character before. Like, I really cared for this guy, eh?
and even then, the whole like the boat chase as well. Like they did nothing with 246. Like they show him he's there. You know, they show him, he's there, he's alive, he's, he helped save the transgender chick and, her friend in that one round of mingle. It's like, he's with some main guys now. But yeah, like I just didn't give a shit about this guy, like if this was like maybe the transgender character or something like that, Honju, and it's like them trying to like, they've made a break, they're trying to go for it, or Gihan or something. It's like, okay, there's some stakes in this. But I just didn't give a shit if he made it out alive or not, because who even was he? Like he was a red shirt that got away.
It's just so dumb. I found the whole thing just really, really stupid. Like the entire thing of just like, oh, there's this whole side plot where these two guys who are harvesting organs are like basically gonna try and make this huge shakeup in everything that's about to happen, and it just leads to nowhere. Like, I mean, honestly, she could have just killed herself in that room with like the gun, right, after seeing the baby, and then it would have been the same ending regardless, because the father would have gotten away and gotten the cancer treatment and everything. It just
the whole organ harvesting thing as well, by the way, in and of itself, it's like, how much do you think these guys get paid?
It really can't be that much, to be honest with you, split among all.
That's the problem. It's like, why the fuck are they doing this job? They're like, man, we're just regular workers. We got to find a side hustle. Murdering people for no money whatsoever. Like, what are you there for then? Yeah. Like, I thought the whole thing is like, you're looking at the construction that happens, right, in this place, the infrastructure, the technology they have. They're looking at this place going, oh, these billionaires are putting in some coin. Let's go work for it. We're going to put our morals aside and we're going to straight up murder people. But I'm getting paid $15.70 an hour. I need to get like what do we? I thought they're there because they either went through the Squid Game and won, or the front man did, but they're getting paid so well because this is clearly a richly funded organization. You would have to pay me so much money to be doing this job, and they're all just like, man, I'm gonna clock in, clock out. I'm gonna scam pens from my boss because he's not paying me enough. I'm gonna get anything that I can. Like, that's the whole thing again. Like, if these people are expecting, I'm assuming, loyalty from these workers, you have to run a tight ship that none of this, it has never gotten out, by the way. In 30 years, not one of these pink soldiers have ever said a single thing to anybody anywhere. No one's said a single word. But they pay them like shit to the point where they have to take
I feel like that also could have been an interesting story because we saw with the recruiter, which, by the way, I still think is one of the best characters in this whole show. The recruiter guy, he's like, when I started off, I had nothing. I became a pink soldier, and I was just getting paid so much money. I fell in love with the games to the point where he shot his dad in the game and was like, fuck yeah, I love these games. I'm going to recruit people for it, And he just clearly, he believed in it so much that he killed himself for it. He lost his own game. It's like, I lost, bro. I'm done. And I feel like, so for example, right, this like going way off topic, right? But someone in my, apartment complex is like a sex worker, basically, right? And, like I've bumped into them a few times. I've had chats with them and stuff. And I know that morally it's looked down upon, that sort of industry of work, right? But I can say with full confidence, they're getting like 20 grand, right?
Like a month, right? Or like
like what is it? I think they're about to go out to like Australia, like for like a whole sugar daddy kind of thing, and they're getting paid 20 grand for that.
Okay.
Like, it's absolutely crazy. I know with like some of the masseuse stuff, she's getting like 2K a week for that. I have 2 jobs. Like Nathan, you can vouch for this. You've seen me. Yeah. I work literally like morning to like midnight. I don't make anywhere near as much as she does, right? It's not like I'm not talking shit or anything like that, but I felt like you could have almost incorporated that kind of story into a Squid Game worker, right? It's like, but I really need the money. But it's like, but you're murdering people.
There's no moral dilemma around it, hey? Like, there's no consideration,
it's like you could have had that. I guess we talked about it with like the whole hide and seek game, right? But it's like you could have had that discussion about like, I'm getting paid to like murder people and stuff. But it's like, but it's like, how do you live with yourself every night? By like murdering these people. Yeah, exactly. And I felt like that would have been a great thing to have with this whole pink soldier character, right? It's like between her and maybe like the dad as well. And they just never went with it. And don't worry, Eileen, there's nothing weird. I'm not a customer or anything. I'm just saying, I just feel like that could have been an interesting story.
Quite a sugar daddy then, man.
Couldn't afford it if he tried.
You need to
exactly. Yeah, all my money is going into make a New Zealand Squid Games. The first game is Tackle Bull Rush. Man.
Run it now. Run it the run it champs or run it straight.
The run it straight. Yes.
Put that in Squid Game. You just get 2 Asian dudes run at each other.
First challenge is the
sumo. No, it's sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Jun-hee having to go up against like a sumo wrestler or like Jaden? Jaden Lang. That would have been so great. But and even with the ending with like the front man, he goes to Los Angeles, he finds Gowon's store, which I completely forgot about as well. And he's just like, hey, here's all of his stuff, and it's literally the suit he wore as well in the games.
Yeah, that's crazy, by the way. Like, that's what a dick move. You can't make that up.
Yeah, and I feel like and there's something about what I was going to say. Someone had brought it up, but like the American Squid Game, I felt like they were trying to tie. Oh, I completely forgot. They blew up the island. Can you believe like one ship of the police guard, and they're like, we've got to like self-destruct this whole entire operation. We have to terminate it because we still might get discovered. Like, so they've gotten away with so much shit of so many people who voted to leave gone and told the police about all this sort of stuff, and they haven't believed them. Even one of their own police officers had said, "Yeah, this game is real." And they're like, "Nah, bro, it's not." It's literally like it's the Taniwha scene from like Wellington Paranormal. Like, look, it's a Taniwha. Nah, mate, I don't believe it. It's right there. Nah, it's fucking not. There's no Taniwha. But yeah, like they probably could have killed everyone on that ship and been perfectly fine. You know, and just
they don't have a captain. They don't have a captain that can distract people, take them the wrong places in the future.
Oh, that's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe they did. Maybe all the police have just a shitty captain on like. No, it's not even like a betrayer captain. It's just a shitty captain of like, dude, the island. There's an island exploding over there. Where?
Yeah.
Over there.
One thing I want to
police work. Maybe that's what they do get away with. So like that sergeant, by the way, they're like, "Hey man, look, I found the suit, I found the money," and he calls him and goes, "Hey man, this dude found all your suit and money."
Yeah. Yeah. Which I was going to bring
you're
it up.
a bad guy. That's weird,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's saying you're a bad guy. Like I have, like this is his name. This is his full name. The guy that broke into your place. Yeah. And it's like, hey, like there's nothing weird going on, right? No, there's nothing going weird. Yeah, I thought so. There's nothing weird about this. What are you doing, bro? Gosh.
You seem a bit calm that someone broke into your house and and it's also someone that you've never mentioned before. Like, is everything all right? Yes. Well, great.
Sweet, man. Catch you tomorrow.
No,
I'll
but
bring your suit and money back to you.
Anyway, so
that's also a point because nobody actually knew who this captain guy was, but apparently the police do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Just something I want to point out as well is that so the baby obviously wins, has all the money, and the baby's given to the police detective, and I was just like, come the fuck on. Really? Like this is how we're gonna end it all? Like he does nothing for 3. He shows up the island and he literally says, why did you do it, brother? And he just stares him down and walks away, and then the island blows up, and it's like, yeah, you get all the money, bro, and a free child. Congratulations. Yeah, a free child and like 4.5 billion won, and then also like Sabyok's mum comes back as well, which I thought that was a nice touch, but then it's also like, but why?
You're watching it with someone who isn't really that interested in Squid Game. Like he likes it, but he wasn't that interested. And like when she came on and then she's like, "This is Sabyok's mum," he was like, "Who?"
Yeah, and like I felt like you know, maybe like a season 2 start kind of thing. That moment happened, like that would have hit harder. But I think no one really cared, you know, to be perfectly honest. And then like I feel like they're just tying everything up, so then they just don't have to go back to Korea when they tell the American or the other international Squid Games. Like, nah, it's all done. You know, like, oh, you're wondering about Sungwoo's mum. Yeah, she's still alive and fine. You're wondering about Sabyok's brother. Yeah, the mum is back. He's fine. You know, you're wondering about Kihan's daughter, which everyone completely forgot about. Yeah, no, she's fine. She's got the money. It's fine. It's all right. She still hates her dad, but you know,
we've resolved everything, guys.
we've resolved everything. And then the front man sees, as Nathan pointed out at the Star Podcasts, an American lady, American recruiter playing ducky with a homeless man. Which I've been to LA and I've seen the homeless there. They're some of the most violent, like, brothers you'll ever see, right? I've witnessed a fist fight on like a tram between 2 homeless dudes in LA, and
the first thing they're doing is not playing ducky.
No,
the woman comes to them in a suit, dude. They're getting robbed.
Exactly. It's just not happening. But yeah, I guess American Squid Games. Kahena, are you pumped for Squid Game USA?
Do you think, first of all, let me just take a slight thing. Do you think when the front man looks at her and she looks at him, was he surprised by her? Like, was it a Fight Club situation? He's like, oh shit, there's other cells? I thought it was just mine. or did he like have? Yes, this is the American branch. Like, or was he like shocked? Couldn't tell
I think
if he was caught by surprise to see it happening, or if he was.
I wonder if it's like because obviously the Korean island had to blow up, right? I reckon it's maybe been a little bit out of touch with it. I think he knows it's going on in America, but I think like it was just a moment similar to Kahena into the first season where I actually thought it was like a pretty powerful moment where he's got the red hair, which was still just so dumb, the red hair. He's on the phone with his daughter, but he sees the recruiter across the train playing like dark cheese, like the games are starting up again. It's just that moment of like shit, I was here. I kind of felt like they're trying to do something similar where the front man's like, oh wait, the games are still on.
I was like, yeah, I wasn't sure because you could play it both ways, right? Like he knows the network is vast, or it's like it would almost be like, oh, it's gone beyond me. Like I didn't even know this was happening. This Squid Game is massive, right? Like I didn't even know. Like that's kind of cooler. As far as being excited for Squid Game USA, I'm super excited for Squid Game USA, to be honest with you. I again, maybe because I'm going to put people off here, but like I said before, my vibing with Asian cinema is not as strong as my connection with US cinema, right? So, and I know who's directing it as well and who's attached to it and stuff like that. That genuinely excited to have David Fincher of like Social Network, Fight Club, like Zodiac, to have him do that world and make it like I'm gonna be a dick proper. Like to have people talk.
That's what I like to hear. Colonial.
It's only proper if it's American, right?
Messed up.
Yeah.
Ended with like an American flagship sailing to the island.
Like also like for me as well, like I can relate much more to like the shitty American Western billionaires. Like in like the guests in the show are all white people, like except for like there's one Asian. But the fact, and I'm like, yeah, they're fucking assholes. They're rich billionaires. Of course they would do that. And America is where they all are. Like, and I feel like it would really fit. Again, I don't know what's going on. So maybe it's just as valid in South Korea. I know their work culture and stuff is really messed up and things like that. But I feel like in 2025, the way prices are going, the tension in the world, all that sort of thing, it feels like it's such a rich, fertile. It's like I could see Squid Games actually happening in the real world, is why I feel like it kind of fits in America so well right now. Like, there probably is a Squid Game happening, to be honest with you. Those billionaires are so evil and people are so desperate and they don't have a system set up to, like, you couldn't have a Squid Game in New Zealand. You couldn't have it in Australia. I could see it happening in America because it's
was that Epstein's Island? It was just a Squid Game. the files of
they were probably doing some other weird things with squids.
There's something else that was so dumb when the pink soldier chick set fire to all the players that have played Squid Game. Like the main piece of evidence to say that this actually happened, like it was going to get blown up anyways. But like, why would you set all on fire? Why was it all on fire? Like, is she trying to end the games? Is she not trying to end the games? Like,
I think she was. That's what I took from it. I was like, burn it all, explode the whole thing. Like,
you're destroying
erase her own identity. Like, she was trying to erase her identity and everything involved with it. But then the island was going to blow up anyway, so why do it? But so my thing would be like, oh, maybe she was trying to specifically make sure that her stuff was gone, but nobody was going to search that island. So why? All right,
I don't know.
It just seemed a bit. It just seemed a bit unnecessary, I guess, is my point. But my thing, I guess, as well is I think she should have just taken one of the files. Like, if she wanted to get back at someone, she didn't need to take the 2024 files. She could have taken any of the other ones. But all right, I guess that's fine. I guess we'll just do this then.
Yeah. I guess to wrap things up, because I just realized we have been talking for we've been talking for 2 hours, and I literally promised Nathan that we'd only talk for an hour, like max. So I guess just to quickly wrap things up, we've had 3 seasons. We've had 12 games. Well, technically 11 because Skyscraper Squid Game is still Squid Game. But I want you both. I'll start off with you, Nathan. Your favorite game and your favorite character.
My favorite game, I think, is Jump Rope because that's probably the one I could make it on. I do a lot of Jump Rope, so I like that one. So I guess I'll just do Jump Rope. Oh, but then actually, you know what? No, Marbles is probably my favorite. Marbles is my favorite game in the series. What was the next one?
And your favorite player.
My favorite player was Ali. I really liked Ali.
Like players as characters, so it could also be anyone outside of the games as well.
Oh, player and character. Yeah, Ali. I still liked season 1. I also guess I liked the transgender girl as well in season 2. If we had to pick season 2 and season 3 characters, but Ali is still my favorite. I relate to him, so it works in my favor. But yeah, he was just a nice guy.
Yeah. How about you, Kahena?
I think game-wise for me, it'd probably be Red Light, Green Light. In that
it's a classic. Yeah,
it's so iconic and kind of tied so closely with the doll. I'm a little bit annoyed with the Jump Rope that they put the boy in there as well. They're like, there's a second one, and like it hasn't had the same like.
She's got a
friend. Like the big doll character. Yeah. It's the girl with the spinning head, and that was like the intro to everything. It started it was so like, oh shit, like they're getting a shot now. Like it's not a game, it's like real. Like that's so iconic. And then to have that come back and he games it and he knows how to play it and all that, I thought that was so good. Yeah. As far as favorite characters go, I actually really like the transgender character as well. And as much as I didn't like the character, like as character necessarily, but I just I feel like, I don't know if it's real or not, but I feel like I like that the TV show, the scripted one, took inspiration from the reality show by putting the mother and son.
Yeah.
It was like they were so popular on a reality game version that they wrote them into like the actual scripted drama. I think that's pretty like, it's like if I was that mother and son, the real life Justin, I don't remember now, whatever it was, but I'd be like, man, we made such an impact. They wrote us into the freaking show. Like it's clearly like obviously was them, right? Like there's no other way around it. Like so I thought that was really cool. But for me, the transgender character is probably the most big one for me because like she just felt like a person. Everyone else is a complete caricature. Like in the second, third, I'm not going back as much to the season 1 because my memory banks are shot and stuff. So I don't like. Yeah, I'm a recency bias guy.
Yeah, no, if I had to pick a game, I think Mingle. Like you would always get so much entertainment out of Mingle. I think Mingle's pretty great. But if I had to pick one, I really enjoyed the hide and seek game. Like I know it was just straight up just murder whoever the fuck you want. But I felt like, depending on who's on what team and stuff, you can easily get some great drama and shit out of it and stuff. And it might be richly biased, but I will probably pick hide and seek over Mingle. I do think Mingle's probably the most deadliest, though. Yeah. Like Nathan, we've done Roblox, Squid Game, Fortnite, Squid Game and stuff. How many times have we ran into a room? It's like, oh shit, we've got one more person, and then it locks. Like, well, we're dead. Like, there's nothing to it. Yeah. And I guess in terms of favorite character, like 2 really stands out to me across the whole series. One of them is a recruiter. He only had half an hour screen time, but I felt like every second with him was just pure bliss. Just phenomenal acting and stuff, and how he was just so into the games. He made his own game with like the bread and lottery, with all the homeless people. Like, did it change anything? No. But it's just like, you'll pick lottery and you'll won shit. So now I've got to stomp on this bread and fuck all you. And he just had a massive fit in all of them. But I do think Sungwoo, if I had to like real nail down one, I think his transition from he's trying to survive to he games it and he sort of realizes that like shit, there is only ever going to be like one winner. And throughout he's trying to get the old man killed, like by trying to like sort of nudge him into doing Umbrella. But instead, Gihan does Umbrella. And Marbles, he very quickly realizes that he's literally about to lose, but he's able to turn the tide, switch things around onto Ali, and he pushes Sky off the bridge. He kills Sabyok, which still I think the most saddest like death in all Squid Game is Sabyok's death at the very end, and he knows that Gihan's about to end everything. So then neither of them get any money, but he's like, no, like my mum needs it, so he kills himself for it. Like I just think this character was just like probably the only 10 out of 10 I can think of. Transgender comes pretty close to 10 out of 10, but I think Sungwoo from start to finish was always just really interesting to watch. So just watching him like become dark and darker as the games went on, because like he's realized like only one person is meant to win this. And so I just found it really fascinating. But yeah, that's Squid Game in a nutshell. I'm sure we'll all gather together again to talk more about Squid Game at some point. Probably not tonight, because I know Nathan is low-key dying after. But Nathan, are you up to anything? Anything you want to promote, shout, hype up, or anything like that?
I guess just in terms of promotion, just take care of yourselves, everybody. It's a scary time now, as Kahuna said. We're in a bit of a wacky time. There's a lot of corruption, and the Squid Game. I think I mentioned this last time, but Squid Game gives a message of like there's hope. There's still hope in all of this. So just keep up good things, keep living on.
Yeah. How about you, Mad Dog Kahuna? Anything you'd like to advertise or pump out?
Don't kill babies.
Don't kill babies.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Nah,
I was thinking about it this weekend, but you know what?
No, I got nothing, man. Just keep doing your thing. I'll be back on your show. I'll be, for other stuff.
And obviously you're welcome anytime, bro. You want to cover a specific show or topic? Let me know. We'll 100% make it happen. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for some cheeky, naughty times. We talked about tentacles at the start, and hooks, because you got to put the tentacle in with the hooks in order to make a very scrumptious kind of meal. And do you know what else is pretty scrumptious? Australia versus the world. If you're a massive Survivor season, Australia versus the world is coming out shortly, hopefully in August. And myself and Michelle are currently going through every single player on the cast, talking about their game, friends and or enemies that I have on the show, with many great guests along the way. I recently talked with useless Australian Survivor facts about Janine, and that was a hoot and a half. So make sure you check those out. But until next time, everyone, I'm your host, Mucky. Hope kakite anō, and we'll catch you all in the next live. Take it easy, guys. Bye.